Hi guys, and welcome back to the channel. First and foremost, I just want to really say thank you to everybody who's stuck around. I know we've had a lot of interruptions over the last couple of months with internet, with the car, with just everything in life at the moment. Um, so yeah, I just want to say really thank you for everybody who's stayed subscribed. We got the internet sorted finally, so it's no longer taking 37 hours from the property to upload a video. I think that was the last reading I got when had my old internet. Hence why I never bothered uploading anything from here since the very first video I uploaded. But that's all sorted now. I did a test the other night I did it on one of the old collection videos, which was about an hour and a quarter, and it said I think it was flickering between 4 and 7 minutes. So that makes a massive world of difference to me here. It's taking all the stress, a lot of expense. I've spent so much in fuel over the last 9 months just trying to keep getting videos uploaded. This channel has cost me a lot of money. But that is what it was, something I really wanted to do, and I kept on pushing. But yeah, we just had to take a bit of a break just to get these things sorted. So I know now I can just freely upload stuff as and when I want. But I'm still a little bit time restricted right now. I think I mentioned in the last video that the video before that the car broke down, and in the last video I said we finally got it sorted. We're on the way to upload that last video where I was saying everything sorted, the car broke down, and it's been in the garage ever since 2.5 weeks ago now, and I'm not going to get it back till next week now, and with a massive hefty bill. I think the quote was around 1,300 to get everything absolutely sorted on it. So yeah, so we've still got a few challenges in life. That being said, it is what it is, and we can just move on from now. So yeah, for this video, what we're going to be doing, I'm going to be showing some recent purchases lately. I think we've got about 20 kits to look at. Now these are from a collection, which has been kind of drip fed over, I would say, for the last 3 years. And I thought it was kind of fitting to do this one because I was watching the model car guys video, latest video. It's one of the one things, one of the main things I really look forward to every month is seeing that. It's seeing the latest model car guys video come up. Just because it's just like it's purely a pure chat show, sort of, with all the topics we all kind of want, and the last one wasn't any exception. But towards the end, both Luca and BG, they were talking about the sad loss of their friend, and sort of raised the question, what happens to these all the model kits we pile up and what have you, and and what happens to the collection, how we leaving it to friends and family and what have you. And I'm not going to go into it in full detail. We're going to have too many kits to already look through to sort of really delve into that topic. But I thought it was fitting because this is a collection from somebody who I assume passed around 3 years ago. I think I've seen 3 different sellers selling this stuff off. Initially, I believe it was one of the relatives, and I think somebody else bought a few little bits and pieces. But I think a seller in the UK has bought the majority of the collection, and I know it's been out, been in his storage, and he just dips into it every now and again. Really great seller and what have you. But yeah, they come up every now and again. They're not constantly on the selling sites and what have you. But I think they've been having a bit of a clean out. I know it's the summer holidays. I think he was he was getting his daughter to list a lot of stuff, to fill the time and what have you throughout the summer holidays and helping out. But I do a lot. I do a lot of prep into these kits, and I haven't sorted through any of these at all. But the reason I do a lot of prep into these, they don't find a permanent place on the shelf until they're fully sorted through, all bagged up. I image everything. Do at least 12 images per kit. Now, I used to do it around 12 images to be in line with eBay stuff. Because the reason being is, I put them all into a file, and if I ever need to sell stuff out of my personal collection, I know the images are already there, ready to go. But I'm also doing that because at some point somebody else is going to have to take care of all this stuff. I'd like to think I can manage that while I'm still able to, because I'd rather leave money than a load of kits and what have you. So at the stage where I'm thinking I'm too old, something comes up with my health, and there's something that says to me, it's time to knock it all on the head kind of thing. And it's an awful thing to have to think about, but I do think about it a lot. I don't know. I haven't been to the doctors since I was 16. In fact, this morning was the first time I've been to the doctors just to take some blood, just to see if there's anything going on, which I don't know about. But as it stands at the moment, if I was to unfortunately drop dead tomorrow or something, I've just got a handwritten will, on one of them will forms you buy from the post office, and there's certain names on there, people throughout the UK community, other people, obviously some family and what have you, and friends, and the idea with that would be, if it was tomorrow, then the instructions is for you all to meet up and come and sort it all out yourselves and take the issue away from my family. Because my mum and dad are getting on a little bit now, and I don't think any of them will want to deal with this kind of stuff. But if I can last a few more years and what have you, I will be. I've already got a big list. I catalogue everything that comes in. I write it down. I write what I paid for it. So I know I'm not going to lose money, but so when I eventually get round to selling it, or somebody else sells it, they can kind of see what I paid for it and sort of round about the figure what they can sell it for. But like I say, that it's a massive in-depth thing, and I think from this video, what I'd usually do is all these will just stay on the shelf in a separate part until I get round, and I'll go through every single one of them, completely prep them. I'll have parts if they're missing parts. If I have them, I'll strip bodies if they need the body stripping. So there's quite a lot to go into it, and I think what I'd like to start doing with some of these, I mean, not going to be all of them, because some of them are a little bit run-of-the-mill and we don't need to see insides, but we can sort of do unboxings, but at the same time I can kind of show you how I do my pictures and how everything's bagged up separately, and because ultimately with doing that, you're preserving value. In fact, you're probably increasing value a little bit, and if you're adding parts and all this kind of thing, you are adding value to either yourself or to whoever takes this stuff on. So I'm not going to go on anymore. We're nearly 10 minutes, but thank you for listening to that, and thanks to Luca and BG for bringing up that topic, because I am wanting to do a little bit more in how I prep these kits in the future, and it's kind of fitting, and it all ties into the end game kind of thing. But like I say, it's not something we want to think about, but it's something we have to think about. So I think so from this collection, I bought like I say, I've got around 20 kits next to me and what have you. And we'll just go into it now. I'm going to cut off all that other stuff. Thank you for listening to that, but this is going to take a while anyway, so it's going to be a long video. But I'm fine with that because we're going to see a lot of stuff, and it's kind of a test as well to see how long this video actually takes to fully upload it. So yeah, without further ado, I've been looking at this box for the last 10 minutes. Now this one, probably, out of all these kits, I will let you know now how I work it out is that I put a value on a kit from what I want to pay. I will not budge from that value or from what I can afford. At the moment, I cannot afford any of my own stuff, anything personal. So after I've done all them values and how much I'm willing to pay, I'll pick out stuff from my personal stash, and that will go on eBay. It's as simple as that. I've got a roof over my head to pay for, and the reason I buy these is because these are the kind of things I really want to keep for a very long time, and they're going to be worth more money at the end. Like I say, when whatever's left is going to, it's going to, they're going to be worth a fair bit for them, hopefully. So yeah, I mean, from there on, so after I've finished purchasing, like this guy will let me buy, quite a bit of stuff from him before I pay and ship it and what have you. And so all said and done, after this run of stuff has come through, these kits works out at, I think it was £23.41 including postage. That's how everything averaged out on. Obviously some were cheaper, some were more expensive. And the way I bid on, I mean, I don't mind showing you how I bid on stuff, to be quite honest with you. Oh, sorry, Lee. I've just noticed you've messaged. Obviously, I'm in middle of filming this, so I'll drop you a message when I get this done. But yeah, so the way I do it, because as soon as I see something, you obviously watch it, and I don't look at it again until I get a notification. If in that last 40 minutes, we all know that in the last 15-40 minutes that eBay sends you a notification. Once that comes through, I'll look at it. If it's within that value or the price I've set myself, then that's fine. What I'll do, straight to submit bid. Now these two pages, the review bid and so you just put review bid in there, will take you to obviously the confirm bid page. Now the difference between this page is you will see if in last minutes these tick down, you'll see any price changes, you'll see bid increments, stuff like that. And the reason why I don't look at this page is because I have I don't want to know what's going on in the bidding. I just don't want to know, because once you start seeing your price going to roughly where your maximum bid is, you're automatically thinking to yourself, I'm going to push it a bit higher. I'm going to raise my bid because I'm going to miss out on it. And to be quite honest, if I did that, and I know how I am, I would spend a lot more money than I can afford, and I'd be in a lot of debt very quickly. So to limit myself, especially when you have a lot of kits coming up available like this, if you click to the confirm bid page, that completely blocks off any bid increments. It'll still have the countdown on it, so in the last minute or so I'll press my confirm bid, and 80% of the time it'll come up as red saying you're nowhere close, sort of thing. And that's fine with me. I'd leave it really as close as I can to not change my mind. So within the last 10 seconds or something, I'll place my bid. And like I say, half the time I'm well outbid. And and that works well for me. But then you get surprised. So and you do win quite a bit of stuff at prices a lot less than you thought they'd go for. I mean, on the other side, things go for a lot more money, but yeah, we just added another pointless 5 minutes to that. But I just think it's a really good method of protecting your own wallet and not letting your kind of emotions over this stuff get the higher of you. Now, this one I really, really wanted. It was certainly one of them. I think this was right up there in top prices I paid out of this collection. I think this one was around 50 quid or something like that. It wasn't too much, but it was expensive. It's expensive in the way it's got. I think this one's got a painted body, a painted chassis, but yeah, the rest of it's pretty much mint in box and what have you. But so yeah, for likes of this one will get the body stripped. I've got some really nice paint stripper that works really well on plastics, and we'll go through all that in time. I'm not going to waste any more time on that. But so yeah, I mean, yeah, always want, and this one I have wanted to. I know it was 10 years old since I wanted this, because this was in this magazine which I keep bringing up, and you will not be able to pick it up. But this kit is right in the top corner, in the shadows, and I had my magnifying glass out, and I could always see that was a Continental from the side, the box outside there. And so yeah, this was one, and everybody knows me out, but I have a love for the big Lincolns, anything Imperial, any Chrysler, kind of rarer Chrysler stuff and what have you. But I've never been after this one since for the last 32 years. It took a while, so I didn't mind paying up on this one at all. I still think it was a good price, to be quite honest with you. It's nice to have all the box art, rather than just a builder on the shelf in a bag stacked up, and really, really nice renderings all the way around on this one. So all these 64, pre-65 kits, 61 to 64, you can pretty much use all these bits on the common 65 body. So this one obviously got retooled into the 65, which again, another long purchase I've wanted to make for many years, and this one came up last month. So ended up with two of my Grail kits within a couple of months, after spending many years looking for them at a reasonable price where I didn't have to pay ridiculous import duties and stuff. But obviously this tool then ended up. So what happens with these is these are pretty much the same kit, these two. So they kept the convertible body with the wagon, and then this one obviously, and then they moved the body to retool into the 66 to 69 Lincoln Continental. So hence why we'll never see the hardtop again, and hence why we still have the convertible. But it's a very similar situation to the Joanne 68 Cadillac convertible. The 68 hardtop tool went on to make the 69 and 70 hardtop Coupe de Ville Cadillac. But yeah, that was 18 minutes in, we've looked at one kit. But again, we've had a lot to cover with other stuff anyway, so appreciate you watching. But so we are going to see quite a lot more stuff. So yeah, first one, really nice, really happy with it. Second one, now this has been reissued. One of AMT's tools, which pretty much remained unchanged since this original 65 issue. I've got other issues of this in the collection, not too many of the Grand Prix, because they just seem that they don't reissue the Grand Prix as much as the Bonnevilles and what have you. But so, and the main reason I bought this is, again, going back to my early days of trying to research vintage kits and what have you. And I used to buy everything from the cabin, but then I found out about Bob Dobinson at Car Kits International on Southend-on-Sea. Really, I've mentioned him before, really got on with him like a house on fire. I'd spend hours on the phone to him. And this was the first ever, what I would call a vintage annual kit. I think I bought one of these when I was 13 years old. I've been doing my paper round, saved up my money. And Bob had a minting box one for, I think I paid 41 quid for it at the time. And then in later years I just sold it, and there's been others on eBay in the meantime, over in the UK, but not prices that really wanted me to go for it. And this one's completely unstarted. I think with a lot of this stuff, what you notice with this stuff is, I think at one point he must have had whoever had these before must have had a lot of bodies on, like, opening a garage, out of the box, because you do find within this collection is that the bodies are dusty and stuff like that, but all the other parts are like new. So it's just a case of sorting them all out and making sure everything's there. And I don't look for instructions or anything to make sure everything's complete and what have you, but that's why I take so many images, because even myself, I don't want to end up having to spend hours looking to see if an oil filter or something like that is missing from a kit. So I picture it as it is, really clear pictures. Then if like I say, if I sell it in the future, or if somebody else sells it in the future, then it's kind of self-explanatory. You look at the pictures. That's what I say in my listings. You look at the pictures, and if it's not there, then it's not there, unfortunately. So, but another complete run-of-the-mill kit, issued a million times, again in its original form. Round 2 bought out this box art a couple of years ago. But yeah, this is another one which is pretty much mint in box again, just body all dusty and what have you. I think the only thing this kit's missing, and I did know it's missing because the seller who's selling these, they'll take one picture of the full contents, so you have really got to look in there to see what you're getting. But I think the only thing that's missing is unfortunately the display stand. I think everything else is in there by the looks of it, from the very brief look I've had of this one. So, but yeah, I've got a couple of the round 2 issues, but they're just, I mean, for the price, I think this and the Grand Prix were in the sort of mid-20s range kind of thing. They weren't expensive. They were a lot less than retail on a new kit. So I'm just trying to sort them out, so I'm not going to cause a massive avalanche. And so this one I was really, really happy to get. Now, I had one of these as a builder many years ago, and I actually restored it. It was painted in, it was like a 60s builder. It was painted in some really flat, horrible, chalky style paint, and I stripped it down. I painted the body gold, and it was like a half-hearted restoration. Painted the body gold, and pretty much everything else was just painted gloss white. And I was never really happy with it, to the point I eventually just sold that one as well. But I've never had a box one, not that I can remember anyway. So, and it's really nice. This is such a nice kit, is this one. I think this was around 64 issue or something like that. It's round about that time, I would say, but really, really detailed kit, separate frame. This one's got a really nice bright box on it. No, not too much colour loss, but there's different views on each ends, and you can see the separate frame there. And this obviously got later tooled into, in the later 60s, it got tooled into the Tiger Shark. This is just a the worst period of AMT, I think, for box arts was the mid thousands when they were doing all this kind of stuff. Hated the box arts on them. To be quite fair, I got a handful of them in this style box art, not these kits particularly, but yeah. So that got later tooled. So the Dream Rod will never return unless they alter this tooling back, which I can't see him really doing, to be quite honest with you. Just because that's more indicative of the Hot Wheels. I can't remember, is it Python or something? I can't remember what the Hot Wheels one called. But yeah, I mean, I was really surprised at the price of this one. This one was in the kind of first flow of stuff which was coming through. And it's been started on this one. The frame's been built. And I think the engine's been painted, but pretty much the rest of it's a bit of body prep on these. Again, the guy used to do a lot of body prep on his models, and so that's a complete kit in there. It's got the turntables still, and I think this one ended around 16 quid. I just couldn't believe how cheap that went for, to be quite honest with you. So I was really happy with that after one for a long while. And then a couple of weeks later, they listed another one. So, and this one the box is more faded and what have you. But this one's completely unstarted. The only thing I noticed is missing out of this one is like one whole wheel setup. It's like the tyre, the wheel, and the backing plate. And another thing with this collection is that you will find stuff like that missing, but you will also find it in other lots. The one thing I've been doing over the years was looking for missing parts, and I've got a good example of that coming up in a couple of kits time of how that kind of works out. But yeah, and this one ended around £23, so under 40 quid for two Carcraft Dream Rods. I think probably by that time everybody's wallet's been absolutely pounded. I know the people who will be bidding all on the other ones, and there was a lot of great kits I didn't get. But yeah, it just went past my comfort zone really. But yeah, what you could really do if you really wanted to was obviously change the boxes over, make this an absolutely a minter. But I will have to see if I either got the same hub cover. They're very much like Pontiac 8 lugs, but they're not. They're a completely different wheel. So you could. So what I'll be doing in the future with these other lots is obviously seeing if that wheel's in there. I'll picture them all up as they are. I'll probably add another tyre in there, and just to get us halfway started to making that a complete kit. But excuse me. Probably one of the newest ones I've got. I think this is a 77 annual. And I was steering away from as much of the newer stuff as possible, just because, like I say, I have to sell stuff I have to sell my own personal. It's not just like the stock I've got where that trickles out during the month, if I'm paying. Because, 23.41 amounts to a lot of money, over 20 quits, and I bought a few other bits and pieces, but kind of lost interest in them sooner rather than just for the fact that I put such low bids on, and they just ended on starting bids. That kind of thing was turned them all over within the first week of getting them, and then they're all gone, to be quite fair. So, but yeah, this is one of the latest ones. I think 77 as in an annual terms. This is when you really. I think this was the last year where you really started seeing we start seeing the end of the annual. 76 was a good year. 77 for AMC MPC you could definitely change that. They were going to stop it, to be quite fair, and it carried on with Corvettes and Berettas and stuff like that up into the early 80s and what have you, and you could tell sort of 85 AMT was starting to look through the back catalogue, seeing what they could actually just reissue rather than make new tools for stuff which people weren't buying, because there's only so many Corvettes and Mustangs and stuff that we were really interested in by about that time. So sort of by end of 80s it was completely dead. I think they made it up to 88, kind of 89, and but like I say, it was just all Firebirds and stuff, which they're probably common with the younger builders now. But yeah, the reason why I bought this one, and sorry for gassing on again, but like I say, I was steering away from a lot of this kind of stuff, to be fair, is simply because it was the wagon version. Couldn't even remember when I bid on it, and I haven't even looked into it since. I couldn't remember if this is one which round 2 was reissued, but it was still cheaper than a reissued kit anyway. I mean, generally, if this was the same price as a new issued round 2 kit, I would always buy the round 2 kit, because the tyres and decals and stuff like that, you're not going to have that kind any issues with that kind of stuff, and the tyres are much nicer in the round 2 kits. But I just thought that was a really nice looking thing when I got out of the box. I thought, that's a really nice looking kit, is that. Love my station wagons of any kind, and I've got a few Pacers in collection now. I don't think I'll really need many more. I think I've got pretty much annuals from 75 to around about this time. But that's probably one of the later ones I got, to be fair. But I'll hang on to that one for as long as my interest level keeps with it. But just another one. I've got a couple of these in collection already. I was very close to getting outbid on this one. I think I bid low to mid 20s on it, just for the fact that I've got other ones in the collection, and this one's been started on. Looks pretty much complete, but most of the parts off the sprue. But I've got a ton of extra customizing parts for these anyways. So we'll end up making a nice kit out of that, and get it all ready for restoration, and see what we can make out of that. But we'll probably strip the body on it and what have you. And but it's always, I just love these the 57 Chevy, the 57 Ford, the 50 Ford, which came out. All these came out at the same time, and so this is a good case of lost tooling. Pretty much everything got lost out of this. I mean, what you get in a 57 Thunderbird from round 2 is in no way comparison to this kind of thing. And it's funny, there was a one, I think it was like the early 90s or late 80s, early 90s issue of the AMC Ertl one. It was the red car on the box and what have you, and this sold for low. I think this was about £21 or something, and I was watching the other one just because that 90s, late 80s, 90s box art is kind of my childhood box art. That's what was available when I had money. Could use my pocket money on, but I lost interest on that one, as I think that went north of 35 quid or something, and it just surprised me. And it was a mint in box kit, it's open kit, but that's the market's so funny at the moment. It is in the pan. I will tell you, it is in the pan, and it's through nobody's fault. It's except for who's running our country at the moment. Unfortunately, I'm not a politics person, but when things are going wrong, and when you're being done over, and the country's being done over. But so price increases in February, which hit everybody hard, was I knew that was going to make me struggle. to be quite fair, in February when I saw that brands were putting up any straight away overnight stock. It was you're paying 40-50% minimum. And the worst thing about it is when you buy that stuff, the quality, you can tell they're just taking out half the ingredients out of food, and it's absolutely criminal what is being allowed to happen in the country at the moment. But like I say, I'm not a politics person. I'm just annoyed at the situation at the moment. But yeah, this is when I was talking about them Carcraft Dream Rods. This is a really good example of this collection, and I think at one time, like I said, there must have been bodies and stuff all over a garage or something, and I think the guy whose collection it was must have put them bodies back in the right boxes, and then any bits what kind of close by might and couldn't find the body, he'd thrown him in the box. And this is a really good example because this sold for not a lot of money, about 20, it is in low 20s again. The reason for that is because, I mean, I've sold these mint in box and I can't get more than 45 quid for them over here, to be quite fair. And even with that, they end up going overseas because, even with the shipping prices, the market's so much stronger over in the US. But yeah, this is the Craftsman Impala. Not much going on box arts on these. It was just basically one picture and pretty much the same throughout. The 59 Mercury. I've just given a 59 Mercury to my friend Lee, just because I know it's something he'll be able to do with it, heavy into customs and stuff. But yeah, so this one, and I will just show you quickly contents. Before I actually show you that, I bought this from the same collection about 3 years ago. An original one-pin wagon. Round 2's just reissued it in this box. And I was really hoping Round 2 would have restored the original roof, because I think this was the only issue, the first issue, where they had the full roof without that stupid cut down, which it just didn't look right at all. It made this roof look too short. Really awkward looking roof. I thought that retooled El Camino custom roof was. And when I bought it, I could see the only missing thing out of this was the original roof. But I bought it anyway. It was a nice kit at the time, and I've still, I've passed a few of these up later, since then. But again, none of them had the El Camino, the proper El Camino roof in it. And I think they retooled the El Camino roof because it would have been a lot harder for a kid to cut along the windshield frame like you were supposed to do with that part light. But so yeah, that was a purchase from 3 years ago in that collection. I have been looking at every single auction he's put on ever since to find that part. And this came up in this one. Like I say, we got parts to a 1/32 kit. Looks like the custom roof cover to the 66 to sort of 68, 69 Riviera. The padded roof part, but and there it was. Saw it within seconds of looking at this listing. And this kit is pretty much there's not much of the original kit in there, but yeah, this is the original roof. You can see it's a lot different to the step down we see. And it, like I say, you cut I'm assuming you either cut the top of the windshield frame off, or you'd have to trim the wind. I've never actually had this part before to sort of trial fit it, but yeah, it just gave a much nicer El Camino top. And so I would like to, now I've got that, I'd like to finally build a proper El Camino custom out of a 55 Nomad. But yeah, that was just an example of kind of things we, like I say, with that wheel, I'll probably be looking for another 3 years, or however long that collection keeps going. because he doesn't mind sitting on it, that chap at all, you know. It's not like me who gets any attached. Well, saying that, I don't get really attached to much anymore, to be quite fair, you know, except from the old stuff. So. But yeah, this one was like basically the body, missing the chassis. It was missing all the chrome, or most of the chrome. Yeah, there's like that looks like a Lincoln Continental seat, and you know, you got some of the chrome pieces in there, but not enough for a complete kit. But I did this, funnily enough, pull this aside because this glass screen was in another kit, and I knew it was for an. In fact, it says Impala on the bottom there. But yeah, I've had that set aside as well, just to see if I get a builder which needs it, and it's obviously out of this kit. So, but I do like when I'm doing this one, when I'm sorting this box out. You know, I've had this old builder as well. Somebody cut the hood out quite nicely, to be quite honest with you. So parts from this may end up getting poached to sort of make more of a complete kit out of this, because the hood's being cut out. But I think I do have some spare 59 parts. Gary, I know you were asking for some 59 parts, and I'm pretty sure I sent you them at some point, but if I didn't, I've still got to look for those loose 59 parts. Just give us a shout if you still need them. But yeah, we'll sort out a nice kit between them two. Just thought I'd get them few extra pieces out of the way, like. But yeah, we'll have to shove all that junk back in the box for now. So it's, we know where. Like I say, I'm not fussed about how messy they are, because I know they're not going to stay. I mean, it would do my nothing just to put a kit like that on the shelf after buying it, or any of these with loose parts in it. I just hate the sound of loose stuff in a box rattling about, just wondering when's the next time the tail light's going to fall out of the gap in the box or something, and then you're unable to complete a build. But it's another nice one. Caught my eye straight away. I've not had many of these of this series. I think, yeah, so that'll tell you in there what came in the series: the 62 Electra, the 65 Hardtop, 61 Galaxy, 60 Pontiac Bonneville, and the 60 convertible. But this was the one I always wanted to do. I think I had the 60 Pontiac before, and the box was really toasty. So I think I sold it one because I wasn't a massive fan of 60 Pontiac, and box was, it didn't even look good displaying, whereas this one was really nice. It's pretty much put together. Light, as a lot of these ones, has very light body sanding, where you can see the chap was just getting rid of any minor sort of seam lines and stuff, or mould lines, and setting himself up for filling little sinkholes and what have you. And yeah, this will pretty much, like, the interior's like bright white. I mean, that is just like brand new as of, yeah, there's not many parts to these kits obviously, but yeah, I mean, it's a really nice builder is this one. Just love the early Mercury's, the breezeway style roof on it. Yeah, there was a 64 breezeway promo on eBay a couple of months ago. Really did have fancy me go chances on that one. Really did fancy me chances on that 64 breezeway, but man, did that go for a lot. I think that went over for 100 quid or something, about 106 quid or something. That ended up well past my budget on that one. But sorry, cat just tried to jump up and stuff his claws in my leg. But yeah, it's got the tail lights in there, everything. The chrome is absolutely immaculate. Got so happy with that one. I think this was this was getting up there. I think this was around 41 quid or something. This ended up at, and you know, I think I wasn't far off being outbid, to be quite honest on this one. You know, I really liked it, but again, I've really got to watch my wallet, and I've really got to sell stuff to pay for this stuff. So, you know, I don't just stack up kits, and you know, I'm not one to plead poverty, and I think we're all set on thousands of pounds worth of stuff. Yeah, which I use basically when I need money. You know, that's, yeah, I've done it for 20 years. You know, that's what the hobby's been to me. But I'm keeping hold of, like I say, I've sold a lot of rare stuff in my time, but this kind of thing, yeah, this is the kind of thing that's sticking about now. Like, unless you know, like I say, I mean, a 1,300 quid car bill was something I wasn't expecting at all. Yeah, I got that news yesterday, like, but so other stuff will have to be sold, but yeah, this old stuff's going to stay about. Yeah, so I think that was about 40 quid. This was another one I stepped up on. I'm not a massive fan of charges. I'm really not. I think what it is that Dukes of Hazzard 69 charge has been churned out so many times that I've almost grown a hate for that kit. But there's 70 charger. I know Revel's just bought out in recent years, bought out a new tool. But I've always wanted this one, and I don't know. I think Luca found one. Luca found one in a box a couple of months ago, a built-up one, and I saw that and I was like, man, that's a nice, tasty kit, is that? And I've never had one of these. I've never had a 70 before. I've had the stock car version. Obviously, these got turned into the body. Oh, well, Luca explains it. Go and watch Luca's video. But yeah, basically, yeah, the body got changed into the NASCAR, and then that NASCAR body got the NASCAR got changed back into a 69. But yeah, this one's complete. I think this was around. Yeah, I think this was £51 or something. And again, body's been lightly prepped on. But it's pretty much complete in there. The one thing I did notice on the pictures, and I could see it was a short shot chassis. Yeah, the chassis had a short shot on it, and you can tell that's a short shot rather than a brake. And the last person was trying to build that chassis up again, like, but yeah, we will look at these in detail. Like I say, I'll probably just film it as I'm sorting it out, to be quite fair, rather than going into all that now. But yeah, it's got all the glass hood in there, and you know, then the custom parts. I mean, you don't see many custom parts in anything for a charger, to be quite honest with you. But yeah, that was a nice one. I mean, boxes toasty. I don't know what it is about MPC boxes of this area that they just literally disintegrate. Yeah, I mean, this box is, I wouldn't say in good condition, but you know, it's presentable, and then from that end you'll be able to stack it on the shelf and still appreciate the box art on that one. So yeah, I was happy with that one, like, you know. And then another MPC one, and this one didn't end for much. And I think the reason being, obviously it's been reissued, and yeah, I have bought a few of these, and the reason I bought a few of these is not particularly because I like the GTX, but I've always bought them because I thought they'd make a nice conversion into a nice satellite police car or something from the early 70s, and in the pictures, even I couldn't tell really what was in here. There's so much off the shelf and off the sprues in this. I couldn't tell whether like say, I mean, from there, the kit looks pretty much incomplete. But that is for the lack of sprues, and yeah, I couldn't tell if the light bar was in there or anything, and couldn't really make out. I was really struggling this one, so I didn't put a high bid in at all. I just thought it'd be another nice another nice body to potentially use, because I think this ended mid-20s or low 20s or something, and but after having a brief look through it, I think the only thing that's missing is the actual grille shield. The light bar's in there, everything else is in there. But it's a nice original box, is that, you know. Almost fancy building that police car out of it if I ever found the front grille bit for it, like, and I know it's a very inaccurate police car, but yeah, for that kind of money, I wasn't going to pass it up, and that'll stay in the collection for a while as well with that one, you know. Quite happily keep that one. It's 50 minutes. It's going to be a long video, as simple as that, like, really sorry, but like I say, we're seeing a lot. We're going to see a lot of nice stuff, and it kind of gives you an inkling what you might see in the future. But yeah, this one, 62 Pontiac convertible, Pontiac Bonneville convertible, in generic box art. That'd be a really easy box art build to do. But yeah, box is quite nice on that one. Not really much to see. I mean, we've all seen the 62 box art, but this one's built in box and really clean, as most of this guy's work was, you know. I mean, you could just put that on the shelf, clean it up a little bit, and you know, that's that. I mean, they're brush painted, but he's a really good brush painter, put it that way, and I think all the prep you've seen in them other kits, what he does, sort of lends itself to that. But for me, unfortunately, it's just a restorable model, and saying that, you know, that interior's done such a clean job on that. It would be a real shame. I mean, I wouldn't be that'd be one which I wouldn't be in any rush to do, but at the same time, you know, I've had to, when I come across stuff, whether it's parts or whatever, and yeah, I've got a bag of original 62 parts, and yeah, nowhere near a complete kit, but there's quite a lot of stuff in there. So if anything's really missing from here, it's like, yeah, there's a painted custom rear roll pan where I've got an unpainted one. I will make this a nicer kit regardless of whether I don't think I'll strip that to a point where, you know, it's in strip paint and everything's sort of just back to a kit again. But I will add stuff to it, and like I say, I'll find the nicer parts out of that one. It's got a nice chrome tree in there, so that'll probably end up staying in that one. We'll find the best instructions, and then them other bits we'll just wait around for the next one we find with missing parts and what have you. So yeah, happy with that one. I've been after a 62 Pontiac convertible for a long time, mainly purely because it is bugging the hell out of me if I had them parts with nothing for it to go with. I mean, you can put them custom parts, I'm assuming, unlike the new tool one, which I'm not interested in at all, like, but so this one, really happy to get this one as well, and this wasn't a lot of money either, to be quite fair. I can't remember it is low to mid 20s or low 30s. I don't think it didn't certainly reach the potential I thought, but this is the 60 Imperial. Another thing I'll put my love to Imperials again was this magazine, because this shot here, this was probably one of my favourite pictures out of this article here. Yeah, it's got the 60 hardtop there, and 64 Imperial, one which Sean has just gifted me. Really overwhelmed that Sean sent me a 64, so that one is going to get built. But yeah, just again, go back to that magazine for me, how it sort of set my life out in taste and what have you in these old kits and what have you. But this one, like I say, I'm not going to go into some great detail, but while we got on with it, this one's been painted before, and you could tell it's obviously being stripped, and there's almost, and you could, and the stripper's still left whatever filler was underneath it tacky. But the body is absolutely clean as anything. You know, the trims are all there. It just looks really. I think it's been stripped and then just sat on the with the rest of them in a garage or a shed or something. But again, you go to the parts in this. You know, crystal white chassis pan, and tyres are absolutely, white walls on there like brand new, and chrome's like brand new on it. I always thought this front end looked a little bit like, the movie Christine, where it's getting run over by the JCB or whatever it was, and the front grille goes like that, where from that rubber car they use for them shots. And the grille almost peaks out towards the bottom. I just thought it looked a little bit quirky, but nowadays you can look past that kind of thing. And that's going to make a really nice kit. So I'm so pleased with that one. I'm especially pleased with the condition of the grille, and knowing that I'm not going to have to use. I mean, that chrome spray is great. It really is great. It opens up a lot for the world of restoration. But I just wish when these people bring out these products, they just bring out a clear coat specifically what matches their products, because that with all chrome stuff, you have got to be so careful with it. I've used it on quite a few of my builds, like since it's come out, and and it's still bright and shiny, but you've definitely been more careful when you're handling your models with that stuff. So yeah, to have a nice chrome tree on something like that, it just saves you all the hassle and all the worry of ruining your stuff. And we got another Imperial. I mean, I've already got this kit, to be fair, and this was the one I really paid up on. I think this was right up. I think it was like high 60s, potentially early 70s. But I do have a love for the Imperials, and I do already have one of these, and I have the hardtop, so it's just like another one to. And they are a bit of an investment, are they? I suppose we're not going to build them all. I mean, even when I was started the channel, I was doing pretty well. I was averaging about one kit a month and what have you, but so the maximum I'm capable of building a year by putting me under that much pressure is 12, and with a collection of 1,500, I mean, it doesn't take the mathematicians sort of work out that we aren't gonna do more. So there's just no way. So that's why I don't mind buying kits like this, decreasing the size of the collection over time. I said right in the early days of the channel that my idea was to not have such a massive collection, but just have a collection of really nice, desirable stuff. Not stuff which has been reissued a million times, and that was just another one. And like I say, I'm a sucker for Imperials, and that really did push my wallet a little bit, but it was within the max. But I wasn't gonna. I was literally, I think, £2 out of getting outbid on that. But yeah, I was happy with the end result anyway on that. So yeah, just another one. We haven't got too many more, so it's going to be an hour and a quarter video. But this was another one I got. For me, I've got a few 32-4 Victorias. I must admit, I'm not the biggest fan of this kit. I'm just not a massive fan of hot rods, to be quite honest, man. I'd rather spend my time on the bigger cars and later 60s cars, 60s and 70s ones. But this was one which I always wanted, and I've never had before, the box, and I just thought it was the box that made the kit look the nicest. Excuse me. yeah, I mean that just looks like a Survivor there when it was brand new, doesn't it? You know, it's and I'm almost. It's like you're almost with the USACC coming up. You're kind of wondering what Matthew's thinking of. What Matthew's thinking of to bring for that. And I know he likes 32 Ford Vickies, and yeah, that's a potential I put on my list of guesses what he may come up with. I don't know. Yeah, I've got a 48 Ford anyway. You know, I've had one of them for. Well, I've had a couple of them for years. I've literally just sold one for not a great deal of money, like, but. So yeah, I mean that was nice. I've had this one in collection as well. I thought I'd just show you that one. That's just a promo. Well, they call it a promo version, but it's yeah, basically a 3-in-1 kit, like, and yeah, this one's pretty much. I think there are some missing bits on this from what I remember in pictures, but it's not going to be a hard kit at all for me to make complete because I have a lot of black 32 spares, and yeah, and this one's pretty much the same, to be quite honest. Like I say, it's not to do with this collection, but yeah, I've not even sorted through this one yet, so I think that was Marketplace or something like that. I've just had that on shelf as well. I've not got around to sorting that one out, and yeah, this one was this was a starting bid win, £10, like, and I really didn't expect it to get outbid on it. I think I put £10 as my maximum bid and didn't, and it just ended at that. But I mean, this one's got all the nice box art. You know, I've got a couple of them Country Squires. Unfortunately, no box ones yet because, like I explained in that 57 video, you know, I've got a couple of builders now. You know, and I sold the 2 box ones I had, but you know, that's just a nice bit of artwork. But the reason to be quite honest, I probably wouldn't have bid on this one, but something got me intrigued on it. And I mean, you could tell by pictures that most of the chrome isn't in there. In fact, it's got a couple of hubcaps still left in there and what have you, and there was a bit of work on body, and I thought I could see what I thought I could see. But, you know, this guy did really nice stock builds, but some of his custom work as well is really good. And you can tell from there he's making like a asymmetrical front end, and curious to know in what full direction he was going. Obviously he's left the one bulge on there and made it it's always a bit of a quirky custom thing for me, was the asymmetrical sort of customs. Yeah, I'm kind of on the fence with them, to be quite fair. You know, some really catch my eye and some look really bad, but you know, that's why I bought that one, to be quite fair. And yeah, maybe that's a project we'll finish up one day or something. I mean, they're nice little kits, these, and the multi-piece bodies, but you know, they all build up nice regardless. And I think I've got a builder, to be quite honest, with all the original hubcaps. You know, you can't sell a builder one up, you know, over £10 over here, like maybe £5 or something. Corvettes, you know, there's something that I'd sell over here. So I'll probably give up its wheels and what have you, but yeah, we've not got too many more. Well, there's only 2 more, and plus a little end thing. But yeah, they had the full range of these in. Didn't bid on. I don't think I bid on 3 of them. I can't remember if it shows you full. Obviously, there's the. I mean, I sold that the Doyoshu version of that quirky hot rod. I don't know. It's like the outhouse, whatever it was. That silly thing with the shed on the back. But I wasn't a massive fan of that one, to be quite fair, and that ended up going to Japan in the end, of all places. But yeah, I saw this one, and I have got to build one of these. But there was 2 in this range which I really liked. but because I got a builder of one, I didn't really want to pay up too much, and this one's been started on, I think. Basically somebody's put the frame together. Rest of it just looks, the body's obviously another one which has been out, dusty. But it's a complete kit, like, it's got decals in there which are relatively okay. And the other one with which it was a case of, like I said, when I'm bidding, and by the time I pressed that button at the end, I was nowhere near. I was absolutely nowhere near. I think the Pink Panther was the one which I'm talking about. It's whereas this one, it was right up there. It was getting to the point where I wasn't really comfortable buying it, to be quite honest with you, but it was in the range assets. I ended up walking home with it, like, and yeah, really, I don't know what it was about the Invader. I just kind of liked it, and so I thought that'd be a nice one to have, and maybe one day I'll find a Pink Panther one. I mean, I don't think it went for massive amounts of money, maybe 60 odd. That Pink Panther is about 60 odd quid or something. But yeah, it's past my comfort zone, unfortunately. But it's a beautiful kit, that Pink Panther one. But yeah, this was another one. Been a lot of small scale kits being listed in that a lot, but I've not really interested. This one piqued me interest. Yeah, the 30 Ford fire engine. Really nice box art throughout. Really good detailed box, and clean and crisp and what have you. And it's been started on a little bit, I think, this one. I think it's yeah, axle's been glued on, but it's all there, like, absolutely everything's included. Yeah, done a little bit of sanding, I think, on top of it. And that's kind of where you see in these, just a bit of sanding on bodies. Not too sure how usable them decals are, but they're still in one place. If you're that way inclined and you really wanted to, I'm assuming you could just scan them and do a copy of them, but could be a small scale group build one for February next year for Sean. Yeah, I've been signed with doing that one, to be quite honest, saving it for that, because I don't really fancy doing another British car. I've saved a few for that occasion. But I think that one's a really strong one. If I can keep hold of it long enough, of course, small scale. If I need money, it's I'll walk past it, and yeah, chances are it might not be there the next time I walk past it, and I think that's about it for what I got. Like, so I'll just include these just because I ain't had my car for 2.5 weeks. My dad's watching. Apologise for my parcels are stacking up there. I know there's a few things there which, so if you, I know somebody sent me something who watches the channel, so I really apologise if if that's arrived and I've not seen it, but yeah, this is the last thing to end it on. These been popping up all over eBay at the minute. I don't know if somebody's found a load of big boxes on them. But they're a really nice, interesting thing, and these were sold these were listed as a set of 4, all sealed up, all brand new. A couple of boxes are a little bit dented here and there, like, but I've looked at these for years, and obviously the HO scales, there's not a great deal you can do with them, but this was a tenner including postage, I'm pretty sure, and I'm assuming these are little model buildings which look very, very Lego, like the early Lego. Remember like before Lego actually became Lego, it was a completely different company. They were making like scale models with like Lego and made in Denmark. So I don't surprise me with them kind of the pictures on there. I mean, I don't think they'll be anything to do with Lego or anything these, but you could as soon as I switched that box over, then it just reminded me of like the early Lego cities and stuff like that, even into the 80s with the kind of pictures they did on for the Lego towns and stuff. But I thought for £10, you can't go wrong with them. If anything, they're just really nice little stocking fillers for people. Yeah, £2.50 each. You know, throw it in a box with something else, and yeah, for somebody, and yeah, I'm sure they'll be happy as Larry with that. Like, but yeah, because I said it's pointless me selling them, because if nobody else wanted them for £10, then they're not worth me selling. And to be quite honest, if I can't sell something for under £10 for over £10, then it's really not worth my time. I mean, I kind of put around £15 is kind of there's just so much involved in this stuff to do it to the length I do it, and I just couldn't afford to do it any cheaper, like so. So yeah, I think with that, we've had, like I say, we've had a look at a lot of really nice old kits here today. I know things will continue to go on eBay from this collection and in the future, like, and to be honest, I've kept away from eBay. I think there's a couple of things listed here. It's just with a £1,300 bill looming round corner, it's not really. I'm pretty much going to stay out of most of it, to be quite fair. So I mean, I've made all my money back for these. Like, you know, I've sold a lot of stuff. What I generally do is obviously I've got to sell stuff and pay the bills with it, but if I'm selling stuff from my stash, you know, to make room for stuff which I'm more interested in, then, you know, I've already done that. Like, you know, I've sold, I think I bought a box of, because I pack all my stuff in, like, in proper box, you know, I buy boxes in for shipping. I bought 100 boxes, 100 boxes a month ago, and I've just had to place another order for another 100 boxes, like that. So yeah, like I said, you know, it was always going to be a long video, this. I know there was a lot of gassing at the beginning. I do apologise. I really do try and keep it down, but and how I can keep talking for an hour and a quarter without a break, I don't know, like. But you know, again, thank you ever so much for watching. Hopefully you'll see a bit of a change in how regular we put stuff up on. The last 2 or 3 months have been really, really stressful, to be quite honest. I've just had too much going on in my life to be able to deal with YouTube and enjoy it. It was making me not enjoy everything else which was going on in my life. Was making every video I was doing within them months I've just felt I had to do it to keep the channel running. So yeah, I think the internet was such a massive lift to see, you know, what to see the big difference which we can do. So like I say, I mean, I'd hope to think in next couple of weeks, once we get a few more things sorted out, you'll see more videos every week, and more videos on what we're doing with this stuff, and more builds. And you know, because the main thing for me was it was the building. But yeah, I love building kits, and you know, that's how the channel's going to stay. You know, I know we've had a lot of this kind of video lately just to keep the channel running, but we will resume to doing a build a month, and I will get back onto the Galaxy. I don't think the Galaxy is one I'm going to jump straight back onto. It's by the desk, it's on the bench, but I think I was so long away from it. It's almost like an anxiety of getting back into that build right now, that particular build. So it will be done. It'll be done long before the deadline of 31st of December, but we're going to see something a bit fresh, just for a fresh comeback to the bench for me. And I haven't decided what that's going to be yet. But we'll certainly get a video up in the week to let you know what that new build was going to be. Got a few ideas, but we'll just have to wait till next week. So with that, again, thank you ever so much for staying around for so long again, to stick out the whole video, and if you have reached it to the end. Whatever you're doing for the weekend, make sure you enjoy yourself. I will probably have another video out by the end of the weekend, to be quite fair, of something. You know, so it's quite liberating to actually be able to do that, rather than having to spend a 10 quid in fuel, lose a day and probably a night, because generally, yeah, I'd be staying at my partner's that night. If I was going round, you know, just so I wasn't looking like I was just using her internet kind of thing. Yeah. Yeah, you definitely don't want to upset a Belfast girl, a Northern Irish girl. So yeah, do what I can to keep her happy. Causing avalanches everywhere, but yeah. So with that, thank you and enjoy your weekend. We'll see you in the next video. See you, bye.